Hello, in this video I'd like to show you how to connect your CrewCal scheduling assistant to your Jobber schedule. So what I'm going to do is first take you into my connections and just show you I don't currently have a connection to a CRM. And we always recommend that it's best to not be connected to one scheduling system, another scheduling system like Customer Factor maybe, or in some cases even three. I've seen people connect to 3 different scheduling systems, and we just don't recommend it. It is possible, but you will find little gotchas at the last worst possible moments. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to connect to Java right now, and when I do that, you'll see that I'm going to accept that, and now I'm connected. It was that fast and that easy. And to learn more about how the whole Jobber connection works, feel free to watch this video and also check out our documentation in the help area. And all you need to do is just, when you get to the help area, just type in Jobber, and a few articles will come up and maybe answer any questions you might have. But for our purposes on this video, I just want to connect the schedules to CrewCal. So now I'm going to go into the CrewCal settings, and I'm going to just show you that here are, well, let's get rid of these calendars that aren't real. These are Google calendars that are no longer connected. So now we have Jobber calendars. And I should say, as I delete those Google calendars, you'll notice that if I was to disconnect from Jobber and reconnect to Jobber, I would probably end up having all of my calendars reconnected to. And it's important to note that even though CrewCal doesn't just go in and start deleting your crews for you, because it's a bad idea for us to delete crews that you may be currently using for other purposes or having other jobs scheduled through. It is a good idea for you to, every once in a while, just not every once in a while, but when you're first connecting a calendar and you may see that the calendar's in there twice because you authenticated, deauthenticated, and re-authenticated, sometimes it's good just to come in here and just double click that delete button, get them all gone, and then refresh the page. And whatever comes back refreshed, those are calendars that we currently have keys to that we want to connect to. Now, all of these calendars come in blank, but there's an important thing to understand. This little link here, it means this is connected through your Jobber connection to the Chris Renfro calendar. And this one's likewise to the Jobber connection, but to the Kurt Kempton calendar, and so on. Now, what that means is that when Responsibid sees that you scheduled through CrewCal using this crew, it's going to write to this Jobber calendar. And that doesn't mean that CrewCal can read these yet. We actually still need to do one more step to make CrewCal be able to read them. But it's important for you to understand that it's possible for some sort of shenanigans to go on where, don't you love that word, shenanigans? It's possible for you to put something in this read area that CrewCal could read from a different place and actually not end up reading the right, writing to the same exact calendar. Now I'm going to make sure that that doesn't happen, and I'm going to show you how we can do that by just simply logging into our Jobber account. And let's go into this special place here. We're going to go to the settings. And then we're going to go to the calendar. And then what we need to do is we need to click on Set Up Calendar Sync. Now, all of this stuff probably is fine if it's checked, but what we really want is this. Now, I just click copy, so it's copied to my clipboard. I'm going to go back over to this Responsibid, and actually what I'm going to do for my Jobber calendars is I'm just going to paste that URL into every single one of these. Now, what I'm doing is I'm actually putting the same URL into all of these CrewCal calendars. But you know what? There's actually some magic going on, and you as a Jobber user need to know what's happening. What's happening is that I just put the same URL in, but when I refresh this page, what CrewCal actually did was it changed some of this information here to know that it is going after a specific person. Okay, so right there, it is actually advancing for you so that we, even though we paste the same URL, it will figure out, okay, so I'm reading for this customer, I'm going to change the iCal URL to read the calendar for Chris Renfro, the calendar that we're connected to. Now, just because I changed this name up here to John Doe doesn't mean anything. It just means that when you look at the calendar, it'll call it John Doe. But still, it's reading from the iCal URL, and that iCal URL, if you did it the way I just showed you, will revert back to the jobber Chris Renfro user. So that just means that you can't just call things different things and expect them to know what you're talking about. This will actually be tied in directly to these calendars. Now, as far as setting up your services and your rates and your shifts and your people and all your other settings, and actually enabling and getting these things ready to schedule and setting up all the parameters you want CrewCal to use to know how to schedule you as far as driving distances and things in your own time zone, that I'm going to refer you to go into the help area and type in PhD. And I would recommend watching the webinar called Get Your CrewCal PhD. It's a 38-minute video webinar, but it will teach you everything you need to know about how CrewCal thinks and all of that. But at this point, you'll be connected. And being connected is the very first step in order to be able to use CrewCal and having it write jobs through Responsibility into your, and for Jobber's case, you'll actually get work orders created. You'll have the ability to move jobs inside of Jobber or move jobs inside of Responsibility and have them stay in sync. Lots of really cool stuff. So now that you've done the first connection, I would recommend you go out to the help area and check out the PhD webinar, and you will be a pro in CrewCal within the hour.